Today I have something pretty interesting to share with you. I built out Stuart Pittaway's DIY BMS, and it got me thinking, why stop at just the BMS? Why not integrate this into something like my home automation system? And do things like notify me on my cell phone, or turn lights on or off, or maybe even have a siren go off. But the biggest thing is just to alert me if there's some kind of problem with it. And to do this, there's a built-in feature of the DIY BMS called MQTT. And I won't bore you with all the details in this video, but if you want to know more about how I did that, just leave a comment in the section below. The gist of it is that the BMS can communicate with my home automation system. I use Home Assistant, but there's many other ones out there, such as OpenHub or HomeSeer. Then you can take that communication and flow it through different conditions. I use Node-RED for this demonstration. Node-RED is a programming tool that lets you wire together different devices in a very visual way. It's integrated very with Home Assistant, and you can give it very finite instructions. So here is a 14S configuration of the DIY BMS. Stuart Pittaway has a great instructional video on how to order these pre-assembled. Well, mostly pre-assembled, but there's a little bit of soldering that has to be done, but it's not too bad. So what you see here is each of the modules communicating with each other. They represent being hooked up to each of these cells for a 14S configuration. They are all connected in series to this controller board that's also attached to a 4-channel relay. And the relay, which can be set to normally open or normally close, will be hooked to a 48 to 24 buck converter in order to strip an AB bead shunt for shutting down the battery in a fault situation. I am using a 24 volt power supply to represent that in this demonstration, just for testing purposes. I have the multimeter hooked up to the relay wire so we can see the voltage when the relay trips. I'm using my cell phone to see a test notification that'll come through if the battery temperature reaches a certain level. I have this LED strip hooked up through it to demonstrate on the bench the lights being triggered when the battery temperature threshold is reached. I can turn them on and off with my phone, but I want to automate this based on that condition. I've soldered on 2 temperature sensors for the testing, and that's what I'll be triggering the automation with. I'm going to use my rework station to heat up the temperature sensor, and we should be able to see the LEDs light up and the relay trigger when that condition is met. And then we'll see the voltage go up in the multimeter, and that'll represent the shunt being tripped. I also have some LEDs above my kitchen cabinets and a lamp that'll turn red at the same time. Boom, there goes the LED lights, and I just got the notification on my phone. There goes the relay as well, and you can see the voltage jumped on the meter, so that worked out very well as a test run. Here's a notification on my phone. It's just a test, but this can be set to whatever you like. I also have this link inside the notification that when I click it, it'll take me to the Home Assistant application. I have a view on there that is just the same representation of the DIY BMS that you can get on any other browser on your computer or tablet. And this gives me the opportunity to check the temperatures and the voltage levels of the battery. And this will continue to repeat itself until either the battery temperature comes down, or if you kind of set any other trigger in Node-RED to make it stop notifying you. So in this demonstration, once the temperature sensor goes back down to the safe setting I put in the DIY BMS, the relay will turn off and stop the flow of voltage to the shunt trip. So while we're waiting for the relay, here's what happened to the kitchen cabinet lights and the lamp. There it goes. Now the voltage and the current have been shut off from the shunt, and you can see here that it's reflected on the multimeter. I'm just going to turn off the lights manually from the Home Assistant app. Well, I hope you enjoyed this short demonstration of how the DIY BMS can work with home automation. If you'd like to see how I did this, leave some comments below, and I'll do a video. Thanks for watching.